Okay, and I think that is it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live at 5, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Hopefully here soon, a few of you guys will hop on. I know we're getting started teeny bit late. It's 5:03 right now. But for those of you that are tuning in, I am glad you are here, and I hope you are staying safe. Things out at Mercer are going really well. We've had many people come up on a day-to-day basis. So if I haven't seen your face in a while, come on down and say hello, because I'd love to see you guys in person. And hopefully before too long, we'll be able to be in person together again. But for right now, we're doing this online. It's working just fine. So yeah. Hope you guys are doing good. I don't have any announcements. There's Shay. Hi, Shay. Let me make sure my chat is working. There it is. Okay, it is. That's good. Yeah, that's all I've got, Lindsay. Do you have anything before we get started?
Well, I know that I'm going to get to take a private tour of the OC pretty soon, so I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. I haven't seen the OC since it's been open. I got to see it when it was still in construction, so I'm excited to see the final product.
Cool. I am so glad. I'm so glad. Well, let me know when you're going to be there. I'd love to be able to say hi.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, it looks like we got a few that have joined. Hey, Glenda. Hey, Shay. So Lindsay, if you are good, I will turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey.
No
hey,
problem.
Everybody. All right. So we have been talking about emotional intelligence, some social competence and things like that. We're going to keep on with some social skills. I don't mean to offend anybody. Okay. So even if you learn one thing, that's worth it. And some of this is just a refresher and a reminder to you. And then also, because we are in a group setting, if you have anything that you want to add, I'd love to hear from you. So chat, type in the chat anything that you want to add. If you have questions about what's considered polite or good manners or good etiquette versus maybe what's not as socially acceptable, we can talk about that too. So tonight we're just getting back to basics with some social skills. Okay, so anytime that you greet someone, and again, this is all back to basics, greet someone with their name. Our name is basically our identity, right? So it's as close to our individuality as we're going to get. It's what we're called, it's what we're known by. If you have a nickname, it's very personal. So when you can work someone's name into the conversation, the secret to doing that is to remembering someone's name when you first meet them, which is so hard, right? We all are I don't know anyone that's good at remembering names. We all, it's oh, hi, I'm Lindsay. I've already forgotten your name is Casey. I'm sorry, what's your name again? Name is not only is impressive because they're wow, they remember my name, but also it's really personal. Oh, you're really directing this to me, and it feels very special. So whenever you can do that in a conversation or whenever you greet someone, good afternoon, Casey, how are you doing? Or if you're passing, someone, at work or on the street or just around at a party, using their name when you greet them is a really nice touch. And then also you can do it in conversation. So it's a bunch of you are just hanging out. If you want to get someone's specific attention, use their name, right? But also you can just interject it in conversation of you know what, Casey, I am really excited to take a tour, and you know what, I am going to reach out to you because we haven't got to meet face to face in real life yet. We've only met virtually, and I'm going to do that. So yeah, Casey, thanks for bringing that up. So there's ways that you can use someone's name in a conversation, but be careful because if you use it every other sentence, it's going to feel kind of weird. Okay, so do you know that there is a right, proper way to make an introduction? All right, so this is one of those social skills. There's a really it's not just introducing yourself of hi, I'm Lindsay. Nice to meet you. Shake your hand. Or hi, I'm Lindsay. There's a way to introduce yourself, but if you're introducing two people to each other, there's a right way to do that. And it's all about like their social ranking. So what do I mean by social ranking? Well, if someone is older, like your grandma, probably has a higher social ranking than like your best friend. Or maybe if it's a teacher or your coach or someone that has like some sort of like social status, whether it's with age or importance or something, to like the lower status person. And that's not meant to be offensive. It's just like, if there's like a hierarchy in a social setting, you start by saying the person with the higher ranking person. So let's say I'm introducing my boss, and let's say that my boss's name is Frank, to my daughter, Lillian. Actually, my boss is a woman. Her name is Frankie. So she goes by Frankie, and she's awesome. Okay, so my boss, Frankie, I'm going to introduce her to my daughter, Lillian. Okay, so I would actually say the higher ranking person first, my boss, right? Frankie, I would like you to meet my daughter, Lillian. Okay, so I've explained, okay, what's this person's name? Her name is Lillian. And also, who is she? She's my daughter. Okay, so I've explained at least some detail. And if maybe I'm bringing her into work, I'm like, I have to take Lillian to an appointment, or I just picked up Lillian from school and I just wanted to swing by and introduce you to her, or introduce her to you. Okay, and then you would go, Lillian, this is Frankie. She's my boss. We worked together for 2 years now. Okay, so just like a little bit enough of an information that they can actually have a conversation and understand who is who. So that's how you do it. You say the name of the higher ranking person, Frankie. I'd like, please meet my daughter, Lillian. We're here, from a school conference. We wanted her to meet you real quick. Lillian, this is Frankie. She's my boss. We've worked together now for 2 years. Okay, and that's it. That's all you do. It's like more than Lillian, this is Frankie, this is Lillian. And that's not the right order. So that's just one of those things, like a right and a wrong way to make introductions. Now, if they're the same age and the same importance, then what you might do is the higher ranking person in that situation might be the person you've known longer. So it's like your best friend of like 10 years meeting someone that you just, been working with, and like you guys are good friends now, and you're trying to get your friends to be friends with each other, but your new friend you've only known for like 6 weeks, right? So the friend you've known for a long time is the higher ranking person. That's that. Okay. Also, when you are in group settings or even on one-on-one, it's expected that you're going to reciprocate. You basically answer the question and you ask back. You want to show just as much interest in the other person as they are showing interest in you. It's like a game of like ping pong or tennis, right? But you don't want it to be like so like back and forth that it's not a natural conversation either. But it's a good way to get a conversation started. How are you today? I'm great. How are you doing? Do you have any plans for Labor Day weekend? Yeah, we're going to go to the beach with our whole family. We'll probably, it's a 3-day weekend. What are you guys doing? Are you working right now? No, I'm looking for a job. I got a couple interviews lined up. What about you? Are you working anywhere? So it's like natural sort of like, I'm getting to know you as you're getting to know me. Okay, so here's some things not to do in public. Whatever you do in your inner circle, at home, that's your business. These behaviors might offend someone, and also most importantly, if you don't want to make the wrong impression before they've even had a chance to get to know you, right? Like you always want to start off on the right foot. So here's just some things just to be safe and polite and etiquette, right? Don't do these things in public. So swearing, like speaking really loudly, burping, or like other bodily functions, yawning loudly, or yawning with your mouth just like open without covering it with your mouth. Same thing with sneezing and coughing, right? Like you want to cover, especially now during COVID, like use your elbow or something. smacking gum with your mouth open, smacking gum and making noise, loud hiccups, not trying to like keep your hiccups quiet, cracking your knuckles, like basically noise things, slouching, get your legs, wide apart, or you're slouching down, or excessive like PDA, like you're being like overly touchy with your partner. Probably not like socially accepted behaviors, as I'm sure none of you do these in public. Again, whatever you do in your own home, in your inner circle, that's you. Okay, also minding your manners are some things to do. Okay, so these are like oldies but goodies. I'm sure you're familiar with all of these. It makes a big difference when you say you're welcome when someone says thank you. And it's fine if you want to say no problem or my pleasure or whatever. It's a lot of like, older generation, they don't like you saying no problem. That's your choice. Your welcome is always safe. My pleasure is always safe. You want to say no problem, that's cool too. What you don't want to do is not say anything, right? If someone says thank you, at least give them the respect of responding to them, right? Like you always want to respond to someone when they say something to you, especially something that's gratitude. Not interrupting, like that's a big deal, especially when you're in a group setting, but you can make someone feel like really bad and self-conscious, and it's just like, it's just not good. Like whenever you're talking to someone and you're constantly like talking over them or interrupting them, just wait your turn to speak and listen, like pay attention. Holding the door open or any other sign of respect, like you're on the bus, maybe give your seat up. You see someone carrying like a box of stuff or a bag, maybe you at least hold the door open for them. Like try to find ways to be respectful, kind, considerate. It makes people feel good, right? Like that's so nice. Also showing sincere gratitude. Like if someone's like, hey, like your hair looks really good today. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's just really greasy. I didn't wash it. Like, now what did you do? You made the other person feel bad about giving you a compliment, right? So just say thank you. Like even if you don't agree with them, like just say thank you. Your hair looks really nice today. And you think, oh my gosh, it looks like a wet mop. Thank you. It makes them feel good. It's the right thing to do. All right. And then sending thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes, always really nice. They don't have to be long. It doesn't have to be like this elaborate letter. It can just be like, thank you so much for the gift card. I really appreciate your thoughtfulness, Lindsay, right? Like super quick. You don't want to send a thank you note or give them a thank you note, at least text them, right? Thank you so much for dinner tonight. I really enjoyed our conversation. So like just that little extra step really makes a big difference. Also apologizing. Don't be the person that doesn't apologize. Like don't be that person that just, they're like, well, she's not even sorry because she didn't even apologize or she doesn't even think she's wrong. Eventually people won't want to hang out with you anymore because, you never apologize. And you're also setting the example of how you want other people to treat you, right? Like if someone does you wrong, you want them to apologize, right? Like it's closure. It's closure. You're like, oh, it's all right. I forgive you, whatever. Like now you can move on. Okay. I know this one's hard because we all do this, right? But putting your phone away, especially because, and the reason why you want to put your phone away is because you want to make eye contact. You can't make eye contact with your phone and a person at the same time unless you're FaceTiming them. Okay. So like give the other person that respect, especially if you're having a conversation with them, especially when you're introducing people to one another. Like don't try to introduce someone and then also look at your feed, right? When you're in a group setting, at dinner, like whatever you're doing, during meals, and then whenever you want to build a relationship, just put your phone away, turn it upside down, put it away. And that way you can actually like build a relationship with the other person and it makes them feel good. And you can make eye contact with them. The fastest way to build a relationship with someone is to make eye contact with them. Okay. And then if you must use your phone, because sometimes it happens, right? Like we're trying to like, when you respond to someone as there's like an emergency, or trying to like find someone asks you a question of like, hey, what's the song that's playing right now? And you can be like, I'm going to go look that up on my phone real quick. instead of them thinking like she's now checked out of our conversation. So like at least try to tell them like what you're doing on your phone, so they're not thinking it's about them. Okay, and then also like if you need to put your phone on silent, because even if you're not answering your phone or on your phone, like it can be super distracting when someone's trying to tell you that they just broke up with their partner and they're crying and upset and your phone's like blowing up, right? So like don't be that person either. Okay, all right, some do's and don'ts. Be on time, right? Like be on time, it's respectful, it's courteous. Don't make people wait on you. Don't be the person that other people have to wait on. It's rude. Engage in conversation with smile and eye contact. We just talked about that. Give sincere compliments. Okay, so someone tells me that my hair looks nice today. Oh yeah, your makeup looks good. Or they say, hey, I like your shoes. Oh, I like your bag. Like try not to like make something up. I mean, if you sincerely like whatever's going on with them, make it a sincere, genuine compliment, but people know when you're faking it. So don't do that. Give people their personal space. We all kind of have different levels of how much we want someone in our bubble, and that might change depending on our mood or the time of day or like whatever. So just like start out like giving them like a wide bubble and be mindful of like, hey, am I spitting on you? Like, am I touching you too much? Am I leaning in too much? If they're starting to lean back a little bit, probably a good indication that you're in their bubble. If they take a step back, you guys are both standing, they take a step back, you're probably getting in their bubble too much. If they scoot over a little bit, you're probably in their bubble too much. So just, be mindful. Don't dominate the conversation. And we talked about interrupting and speaking loudly earlier, but dominating the conversation can also be like making it all about you. Like, I'm not going to let anybody else talk. And whatever she's like tired today. I'm really tired. Like I got like 2 hours of sleep last night and like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm just having like a really hard time sleeping. And I like woke up at 1 and then I had to get water and then I was up again. I go to the bathroom. I don't know what's going on. And like, meanwhile, Casey is trying to tell me that she's tired today and I can only talk about myself. Casey probably doesn't want to tell me anything ever again because I'm just going to talk about myself. So that's what I mean by like, don't dominate the conversation and make it all about you. Also, don't excessively complain. We all have the right to vent, but people don't want to be around other people that just complain all the time and they're negative, right? It's like that negative energy. It's hard times right now. It is hard times. And so we're trying not to like fill our lives with negative energy. So don't contribute to the negative energy. And if someone else is being negative, try to be the person that pulls everybody else out of the negative instead of like digging deeper into like the toxic pit. I mean, it's okay to complain. We have bad days, we have mood changes, bad things happen, crazy things are going on in the world. It's okay to complain. Just don't be it like your number one topic. And the reason why is because people will remember how you make them feel far more than what you say to them. So when they leave a conversation with you, they're going to remember how you made them feel during that conversation, during that time with you. And they're going to remember very little the words you said to them. So always aim for making other people feel good, make them feel better having had that interaction with you. All right, y'all, that's it. What I missed? Tell me what I missed.
So first of all, thank you, Lindsay. That was amazing. Second of all, I thought it was really funny because you were going through like some do's and don'ts. And one thing I was thinking of is like, oh, I'm going to add in like phone usage. And then the very next slide, I was like, oh, shoot, forgot about phone usage. And the very next slide was all about not using your phone. So yeah, and I'll give a shout out to Glinda today. We went to a job interview and she completed the application. And I realized that as we were walking in, I was like, oh, I didn't like give her any tips about maybe putting her phone away while we're in there, but she didn't have it out, not one time. So I thought that was really good. And I think that makes a really big difference. If you got your nose to a screen the whole time you're meeting with someone, especially if it's the first time. So I thought she did really good there. I learned something new. I did not know that there is kind of an unspoken order about how to introduce people. I think that's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to have to keep that in mind. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, the only other tip I would add in is like if you're going in to have a conversation with someone, kind of, I guess, read the situation and read the room a little bit, because we all know that one person who will stop you and say hi and then like won't stop talking for 10 minutes. So it's always good to, like, when you're approaching someone, to always know like, okay, what information do they need? What are they able to do? Because like sometimes you need to stop and talk to people and they're like on the go and they don't really have time to listen for a long time. So it's always good to start with like, hey, do you have a second? I kind of wanted to like tell you about something going on. And then that person can say, yeah, in like 10 minutes I will. You want to meet, by the coffee machine in 10 minutes so we can talk, or something like that. So I think you covered it, Lindsay, though. I love that. I think that teaching social skills is one of the hardest things to do. Just because some of us, like, the way that we learn is just by experience and by interaction with other people. And it kind of comes really naturally. So to actually teach a class on it, I think is a hard thing to do, and you nailed it. So I think that's really awesome.
Thank
I
you.
don't see any action in the chat, although Shay did say that she started her first day of college today, which is really exciting. We love that. I know Shay is using her social skills as she's in the classroom, no doubt about it. Shay's got good social skills. I've interacted with her several times. And I've got 3 people that are watching now, and there's 4, and I know I'm one of them. So I think we might have another person. So if you're here with us, go ahead and pop in the chat and say hey. But I'm going to give you guys another couple minutes. If you guys have any questions or comments about kind of how to interact with people in a way that makes you feel comfortable and makes them feel comfortable, especially on a first impression basis. So give you guys just a minute to think about that if you have any questions.
Okay, what do you think would be like a good social skills topic for next week?
That is a very good question. Oh, hey, check this out. Shay has popped in the comments and says, this helps especially because I'm in speech communication this semester. So there's probably a lot of overlap there for sure. Yeah. But social skills for next week, I might have to have a minute to think about that. Maybe touching on the appropriate amount of information to share, maybe. Like kind of knowing what personal boundaries to set, kind of how to gauge when it's okay to share a lot or when we need to kind of keep things to ourselves. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think of like a good, like, overall topic that would include that. Yeah. And I think also confidence skills as well. That was something that I didn't really learn until like just a few years ago, really. I'm 26, so just about like keeping your head high and walking with your shoulders back and making eye contact with people, and just kind of how to use verbal and nonverbal things to communicate that you're confident and that you're confident and that you're present and learning or listening and learning. So I think that could be kind of cool. It's just a few I can think of.
Yeah, thank you for that. I took some notes. So this gives me some really good ideas.
Cool. Well, I am not seeing any activity. Oh, no. Here goes Shay. This is actually really good. Maybe being passive, assertive, and aggressive approaches. Okay. So like how to approach people and some of the different styles. How to be assertive without being aggressive could be a really good one. That's a good idea, Shay. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, that really helps, Shay. Thank you so much.
That was way better than anything I suggested. So I'm glad she's here to give us her input. That's good. Cool. Alrighty. Well, as of right now, that's the only activity I'm seeing. Lindsay, any final thoughts before we close out for the day?
No, nothing here. I appreciate all of your feedback. Thank you, Casey, for being a good co-pilot, giving us your tips, giving us your ideas, and I'll see you guys next week.
Well, thank you, Lindsay, for being here week after week and helping us learn and being so down for whatever. We are a huge blessing. Super thankful for you. And I'm excited that you're going to get to see the center soon. That is awesome. I'm looking forward to that for you. And to those of you that are watching, you guys be safe. And we will catch you guys next week live at 5 on Tuesday. Be safe.